Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for attending this information session. My name is Jim Irvine, and I am from SUNY Westchester and the Professional Development Center at the college. My title is Director of Corporate and Continuing Professional Education, so I have a couple of roles at the college. One of the roles is to support our business community, and what that means is I work with a lot of businesses throughout Westchester and Putnam County. If they've got particular skill gaps that they need some of their employees or staff to ramp up or advance their job skills or professional development, they'll come to us, and then we'll figure out a plan or a roadmap on how to address them. We do a lot of corporate education in leadership development, communications, and other things. I also have a handful of other open enrollment programs in the trade sector, and we'll talk about that today, and some in both the trades and IT and business and finance. And this is my colleague, Krista Jones.
Hi, everyone. My name is Krista Jones. I'm the Assistant Director at the Ossining Extension Center of Westchester Community College, and we're going to talk about all of the extension centers and locations of WCC in a little bit. I manage all of the non-credit healthcare programs, so if you're interested in starting your career in healthcare, like becoming a nursing assistant, a medical assistant, a phlebotomist, you can take those classes in Ossining and some of those classes in Mount Vernon, and we're going to discuss all of that. So nice to meet you.
Thank you, Krista. So one of my takeaways today for you guys is, there's a lot of opportunities out there that don't necessarily have to follow the traditional college path. So as Krista mentioned, she works with the non-credit side. I also am on the non-credit side, but I do also work on the credit side. I used to run and manage some credit programs too. But for today's presentation, we're going to talk about the non-credit side of the college. So what do we do at the college? Couple different things. We offer flexible, affordable, and career-focused education for professional development, workforce development. We provide career pathways in high-demand industries, and also provide a lot of our programs, we have nationally recognized certifications, and again, we'll go through that as we progress through the presentation. The value proposition of SUNY Westchester, it's probably one of the most affordable education post-high school opportunities or venues that you can come across. You'll see a lot of four-year colleges. Tuition starts at $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. Our tuition is roughly $2,300, $2,400 per semester. That's on the credit side. And again, you don't necessarily have to do that. There's a lot of other programs that offer different opportunities for great careers and job advancements. Flexibility. Again, in today's environment, especially with the pandemic, we really went over to and do a lot of online training. So a lot of the programs we have, you can do online. You can do it from your home. You can do it on your own time. There's two vocabulary words, synchronous and asynchronous. If you come across a synchronous class, that means you go online and there's an instructor there and it's a specified time. If it's asynchronous, that means you can do it on your own time, but usually there's milestones that you have to hit. So for instance, if you're in a class, you might have, say, your assignment is due on Thursday night, and you've got 7 days to get it done, but you do have to get it done by that particular date. So that's known as asynchronous. Then we also have in classes at our various campuses, and Chris is going to talk a little bit about that. Our extension centers, then the main campuses in Valhalla, remote, and then online learning. So we're here to help you. One of the things that my elevator pitch is when people ask me what I do, I often say, I help people start their career, advance their career, or change their career. So those are some of the things that we do. We provide these different courses and programs for students to learn new skills and explore their passions.
Okay, so most of you are familiar with Westchester Community College, right? You know a little bit about it. So we are accessible, so that means we have locations. throughout Westchester. We're affordable. We provide professional development. We provide credit classes, so if you're looking to work towards a degree, like an associate's degree, we have that. And we also have non-credit classes, which lead to a certification, and then you can go straight to work. So we're going to play a little game right now. I have a question, and if you answer the question right, you get some swag. Okay. So we have locations in Westchester. Can somebody name one of the locations? That's right. So these are our locations. We have the Cross County location. We have Ossining, where we have a lot of the healthcare classes. We have Peekskill, which does digital arts. And we also have Mount Vernon Extension. So at these locations, you can take credit classes, so a lot of your gen ed classes, and then you can also take a lot of the non-credit or the certification classes, okay? And then we always have the main campus. Okay, so we're part of workforce development and community education. So what we tend to do is we prepare students for new careers. We have corporate training. We help you maintain your certifications or your licensures. And we provide students with a lot of learning opportunities. And we also have ESL classes. Okay, so here are some of our professional development and short-term programs. I'm going to speak about healthcare right now, and then Jim, you'll do some of the other classes. You want to continue your education. Usually your employer will pay for it, so it's a good place to start. We also have phlebotomy, and I brought an example of our phlebotomy arm. That's drawing blood. So that's another course you can take. Again, 1 semester, you take a certification exam, you go straight to work. We have EKG technicians, which monitor the heart rhythms. We have pharmacy tech, so that's working under a pharmacist, like in a CVS or maybe in a hospital setting. And we also have medical administrative assistant. So if you wanted to be like an office secretary, or work in billing and coding, this is a great place to start. So again, all of our programs, they're affordable, they're short-term. You get a certificate of completion from Westchester Community College. You can take a certification exam and then go straight to work, okay? And a lot of times we have scholarships for our programs, so you wouldn't have to pay for the program, okay? Healthcare right now is at the Ossining Center. We are beginning to have programs in Mount Vernon. So you have an option of taking these programs in Ossining or in Mount Vernon, okay? All right.
Thanks, Krista. So here's some of the other categories that we have. We have business and financial. You guys might want to combine some of that with your trades programs. Computer and technology programs, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Trade Skills Hub, variety of different trades programs, real estate and insurance, and Krista just covered healthcare. We do corporate training, as I mentioned in the beginning. Interactive design, digital arts is up in our Peekskill Extension Center. A lot of continuing education, and then we have some other education partners such as online or Ed2Go, and we have the largest ESL program in Westchester County. Okay, here's some examples of the specific certification programs we have. So I saw somebody that mentioned IT. How many people are interested in technology? Okay, quite a few. So prior to my being in higher education, I was in technology for many, many years. And I have to say, both with my business experience and being on the education side, IT is probably the most prevalent job career pathway out there that you can have a very, very successful career without going to college. And getting there by taking these certification programs will allow you to, have a good career basically without spending $100,000 on a 4-year degree. So we'll get into that. So one of the certifications programs we have is data science and machine learning. Then that's offered through CompTIA. Is anybody familiar? Have anybody heard of CompTIA? It's a nationally recognized certification program. So a lot of our programs, some of the programs that we have follow the CompTIA programs. Data analytics is big. That's through CompTIA. Entry-level help desk technician is called A+. Anybody heard of A+? That's usually that's a foundational level IT program. Most of the people that I know, that I've worked with over the years that are now have their master's degree or PhDs or they're chief information officers, they all started out with the A+ program. So that's a great program, great starting place. We have Microsoft Office programs that you can get Microsoft certifications in. Those are very important, especially a lot of companies are looking for people that have their certification in Microsoft Office Excel. It's called the MOS, Microsoft Office Specialist. Python programming, we have a handful of Python programming certification programs. And the last but not least, is Red Hat Linux. That's a very well-known operating system and very strong certification program in the IT sector. Trade skills hubs. So we have a variety of programs in the trades. We have one is advanced manufacturing from NIMS, which stands for the National Institute of Metalworking Skills. So if you like working with your hands, and if you've ever heard of CNC, computer numerical programming, we have those programs available. And we're going to see a little bit of video in a few minutes that was done about 10 days ago and aired on PBS. So that's current. So we'll show that in a few minutes. We also have another program called the Certified Production Technician, which is offered through the Manufacturing Skills Center Association. We do OSHA 10, OSHA 30 classes. You guys will have to take those, OSHA 10, OSHA 30. Anybody else in trades, those are very important because anything you do, that's a required certification. NCCER, Foundations in Construction. NCCER stands for the National Center for Construction Education and Research. So we just started a program this past year, the core construction, and then in a few more weeks, we're starting the HVAC 1 and HVAC 2 through the NCCER. So we'll be running, you guys will miss this cycle, but if you're graduating in June, then you can catch it in the fall. NCCER, HVAC 1, HVAC 2. And then I also run and manage a fiber optics program through the FOA. FOA stands for the Fiber Optic Association. That's a nationally recognized certification too. Again, in my experience in education for 20 years, this is probably the quickest certification program with probably the highest payoff. There's 3 certifications you can earn in 5 days. One's the CFOT, Certified Fiber Optic Technician. Then the next one is Certified Fiber Optic Specialist in Testing. And the third one is a Certified Fiber Optic Specialist in Splicing. What else we got? Healthcare, we'll talk about that. As I mentioned, Krista mentioned up in Peekskill, we have the interactive digital design and arts up there. You can see we have 3D animation, mixed reality, digital photography, web programming, and some other digital. You can see those on our website. Healthcare.
Right, so yes.
I think that we have in the past, I know that they've had some gaming programs, but I think before you get there that you probably would need some of the foundational stuff. So it could be, learning how to program in Java or Python or some of the other basic languages just to get a start or a foundational piece of it. You're what? Fortnite? Yeah. So, well, I think if you want, you could give your information to Phil, and then Phil can relay that to us, and then we can get back to you, through with some specific answers and maybe some pathways on how to accomplish that.
Okay, so I'm not going to go over the healthcare programs again, but we do have nursing assistant, medical administrative assistant, EKJ and phlebotomy, pharmacy tech, and then we offer like CPR classes. Again, short-term programs, you get a certificate of completion, you get a state or national certification, and you can go straight to work, and then you can move throughout healthcare. You can go for an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, master's, MD. It's a great place to start.
So some of the other value-add things that we offer when you come through the Professional Development Center or Workforce Development is career assessments, interview prep, resume writing. And these are all very, very important skills to have. I deal with a lot of people coming into these programs, some of these certification programs, and they need a lot of work on their resume, and so we help them do that. We help them with the job search process as well.
Okay, so the question is always asked, how am I going to pay for these courses? So there is funding available, and they come from different sources. We have funding through the local career centers. We have funding through scholarships, through the grants, state grants, SUNY grants. So we do try to assist you in finding a way to pay for the course. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to apply for scholarships and grants. Yes. Yes.
Yes. NCAA junior.
Yep. Okay, so you can see some of our, from the slides, some of our funding sources from the past. So we've had PepsiCo, we have SUNY grants, we have grants and scholarships through the Workforce Development Board, Metallica scholarships. So there are a variety of ways to assist you in taking these courses. So usually you'll work with whatever program manager, and they'll kind of guide you along the way in helping you pay for these courses. Just so you know, for a lot of the non-credit courses, financial aid is, we can't accept financial aid for the non-credit classes. So like your typical, like when you fill up the FAFSA form, non-credit courses, we can't accept the financial aid for those classes. So that's why we, right.
So how many juniors are here? Anybody? So maybe by the time you guys are around, because I know they are working on it, because it is very important. And again, there's other opportunities other than the traditional college pathway. So the state of New York, SUNY, State University of New York, is working very hard on trying to bridge that gap to offer financial aid for these certification programs.
Right. So again, we will assist you in that process of trying to help you pay for the course. Okay, and now we have the video.
Yep. All right, we're going to watch two real quick videos here, and these are of current students. One is IT and the other is trades. So. Okay, this is the one that I told you about that just literally aired about 10 days ago. We shot this back in the summer. And the student that you're going to see was one of my students in the NIMS class, National Institute for Metalworking Skills.
The average cost of college in the United States soars. More young people are being drawn to skilled trades. It's part of a career rethink among Gen Z, who've been called the tool belt generation. Here's special correspondent Christopher Booker.
There's 7 different types of harnesses, right? So you're going to help him dress out.
The task is simple enough. Put on a safety harness, secure the ladder, and climb up.
Identify three items that you see up there.
This exercise is all part of an Introduction to Construction course at Westchester Community College. And for the students, it's a first step toward a career in the skilled trades. The certificate they get from completing this class opens the door to any trade they may be interested in.
You've got to start somewhere. And this program right here is the kind of thing that will get your foot in the door. They can build upon this and get into more specific training, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. How did you guys make out at the career fair?
Thomas Stewart, a retired steam fitter and member of New York's Local 21 Plumbers and Steam Fitters, has been an adjunct instructor with Westchester Community College for the past 7 years. Since COVID, he says the number of students walking into his course has increased substantially. And the rise is happening nationwide. According to the National Student Clearinghouse, the number of students in vocational-focused community college has risen by nearly 16% since 2020.
Somehow word must have gotten out, and I've known this for years, that there is a shortage of skilled tradesmen. And I think the younger generation is realizing that they don't necessarily have to go to college to make good money. Skilled tradesmen in this country can make 6 figures. I'm taking it nice and easy.
Through Local 21, Stewart receives health care and retirement benefits. In its effort to keep its rosters filled, Local 21 offers apprenticeship programs to train young people and everything to do with pipes, from plumbing to sprinklers.
And when they're an apprentice, that's where you get to a scenario where you actually will be working and studying?
Earn as you learn. We like to say it like that because you can work your 8-hour shift during the day, and usually it's 2, sometimes 3 nights a week. You'll have to go to school.
When someone enters the apprenticeship program, do they receive benefits as well? Is that
Absolutely, right from the start.
so? Healthcare,
Yeah,
in the pension.
yeah.
While the stories vary from student to student, some of the young people who come through Stewart's classroom are not coming right from high school.
Right after high school, I went into college at Penn State. I spent about 2 years there. I was studying data science and astrophysics. But eventually I dropped out during the pandemic.
After a bit of time at home, Carson Schrock found an entry-level position as a machinist.
Originally, they had me just doing some odd jobs around the shop, trying to find what my role would be. And eventually I got moved on to this 9-axis CNC machine.
An advanced manufacturing process, computer numeric control, or CNC, allows a machinist to create complex and complicated parts. Schrock spent the last year with Westchester Community College, working to earn a roster of CNC certifications.
So when you were in high school, was pursuit of a trade at all part of the conversation?
Not really, no. It was mostly about like what field of computer programming I would be in. Data science was close to what I wanted to do with the programming and making things, but I wanted to do something with my hands, something that left me with like a physical thing.
While Schrock came to the trades after 2 years in college, Stewart says the renewed interest has made its way to high school as well.
So in our department, it was a concerted effort.
Sarah Hall is an assistant principal of White Plains High School in White Plains, New York.
We've been bringing in local tradesmen. We had Local 3 in, we had our sheet metal workers in. We're trying to bring them in so we as adults can learn more about the trades so that we can better inform our kids on what their options are.
Has the school started to offer more by way of what would be historically called vocational technology classes?
Yeah, so we're going to start demolition on our 75 acres, and we're building a career and technical building.
Wow, so you guys are really all in.
So we're excited, yes, yes.
What about the conversation with parents?
It's a great question. This is my personal opinion. I have a feeling that if it doesn't grow or if it doesn't shrink, it's probably going to remain flat or stable. But I think the good news to that is there's so many people my age, boomers, that are retiring. So there's always going to be a pretty significant skill gap that needs to be filled and addressed. So I think if that's something that you're interested in, I think that's a safe move. But I will tell you, having been in technology, and as you know, I mean, probably, how old are you? 17? I mean, look at the last 5 years of your experience using technology and how much it changes. I mean, it's something that you need. You got to love it, and you got to stay. You got to be. you got to have that lifelong learner mindset that you constantly need and want to be learning to be able to keep up on this stuff. But I think the opportunities are definitely out there. Okay, this is one of our students from our IT programs.
Hello, my name is Michael Battersby, and I'm a former student of the WCC Continuing Education Program. For 2 years, I've been working as a software engineer, and WCC helped me get into the current field that I'm in now. I found the WCC Continuing Education Program while I was seeking career development courses to further my learning on topics that interested me. I was looking to find a job as a data analyst or a software developer, and I found that they had classes that could assist in adding to and improving my credentials. I was enrolled in an Introduction to Python class, and in the following semester, I took 2 certification classes, a Python certification class, as well as a CompTIA Data Plus certification training course. These classes helped cement the content that I'd been trying to learn, as well as introducing me to concepts and technical skills that were pivotal to landing a tech job. I would definitely recommend for someone who is looking at changing careers or looking for advancement in the current industry to see what classes are offered. I know it made a big difference in my ability to gain employment in the field I'm currently working in. It was hands down one of the best career decisions I've made. So I highly recommend you check it out.
We do. But it depends on what it is. So for instance, fiber optics is going to run in July, but for the NCCER, which is what I think all 3 of you guys would be, that would be your entry point. I don't know the exact schedule, but I believe, that started a few weeks ago, so that takes several weeks. So we're probably not going to start that until the fall. I'm going to guess September, but it might be July or August. So I would encourage you to, get my contact information from Phil and then stay in touch, and then we'll put you on a list, and then we'll be able to communicate back and forth with you about when the start dates are. And again, if there's funding available, we can help out with that. And again, all the other things that we mentioned along the way as well. We do. We have probably quite a few summer IT programs, yeah. You can go out on the website. Honestly, our website, in my opinion, is a little hard to navigate. Even I have trouble, and I work there, and I help build a lot of it. But there's 2 reasons. It's dispersed. So again, there's the academic side, and then there's the non-credit side. I'm on the non-credit side. So that might be hard to navigate. So again, if you want to get my information, if you have specific questions, I can send you some of the links and then help you navigate through there. Also, the website is undergoing a revision, and it's not done yet, so it's kind of like, kind of in the middle, so. Yep, so the CFOT, the Certified Fiber Optic Technician class is $1,245. The Certified Fiber Optic Specialist in Testing and Maintenance is $1,122. And the third one, the splicing class, is $1,122. So for those 3 certifications, probably $3,400, $3,500. 5 days, done. Yep, great question. So again, in my opinion, for somebody like you that you're, just coming out of high school, probably don't have a lot of work experience. Do you have any work experience? Okay. So, but probably at your level, probably I'm going to say probably in the low to mid 20s, maybe $30 an hour. But the but to that is, again, you're so young that, you get your foot in the door and there's an opportunity for you to scale quickly. So there's a program called Connect All with the state of New York. I'm working with them. We just submitted a letter because we're their workforce development partner. They're looking for people coming through this certified fiber optic program. Their starting pay is $48 an hour. That doesn't include overtime. That's 6 figures right there. Like, out of the gate. Again, I can't promise you that you would get a job there, but again, those opportunities are out there. And it is a good field, and you know, in that short amount of time for that amount of money for the potential payoff is significant. In my 20 years, I think I don't know if I mentioned this. In my 20 years of being in higher ed, and then also previously in technology, that certified fiber optic technician program is the shortest program that I've seen with the highest payoff. I just got an email this morning before I came here from, there's a Navy something up in Danbury, Connecticut, and they've got 7 or 8 people that they want to send down this summer. They asked me a specific question about connectors and splicing and stuff like that, and if we can include, they looked at the curriculum, they asked if we can include that, got back to them, because we actually have a class going on this week, so I ran downstairs, talked to the instructor, and he showed them what the requirement was, and they said, yeah, we can do that. So I didn't even know that existed up in Danbury. So they've got, I don't know how big the organization is, but they're dealing with fiber optics. Anybody else?
So, as we end the presentation today, I just want to thank all of our students for coming in on their lunch period and students who have left to hear from Westchester Community College representatives on healthcare, health science jobs, information technology jobs, and the trade opportunities. In the counseling office, we will have their contact information, so you can come to the counseling office and reach out and contact them directly, okay? And to all the students, right? If you need help with your resume, interviewing skills, practicing, use these resources, because this is only going to help you and make you more marketable, okay? I want to thank Jim and Krista for giving of their time to come to Tuckahoe for the first time and presenting on all the careers and opportunities that are available to our students. Okay, let's give them a little round of applause.